Hey there, and welcome to our new podcast, Memory Lane, where we recap all of your favorite childhood media. Today's episode will be all about the timeless marvel, SpongeBob SquarePants. Now, if you truly know anything about this show, you know that everyone knows about it, and we went out to the field just to prove this point.
So, do you recognize this sound?
Yes.
What is it?
SpongeBob laughing.
SpongeBob. Yeah, it's SpongeBob.
Oh, SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Boy Esponja. So SpongeBob.
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob. SpongeBob.
That was great, and now that we're all aware that the whole world knows about SpongeBob, we'd like to introduce a special guest that is going to talk to us about her childhood with SpongeBob, Sarah Perales. Okay, so here we have our special guest, Sarah Perales.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so we're going to ask you some questions regarding SpongeBob. First question, how was it growing up with SpongeBob?
I love growing up with SpongeBob because I watched it every day with my cousins. Whenever I got home, I just turned on the TV. There it was. If it wasn't on that channel, I'd go get my remote, click on Nickelodeon, and there it would be watching SpongeBob every single day.
Alright, so second question. What's your opinion on kids' programs then in respect to today's programs? Like, what do you think about whenever you compare today's shows and the past shows?
I think it's safe to say that they are completely different, the ones from then and now. I think the ones from back then were so much better. They had so much more substance, so much more humor, jokes. And comparing to now, I don't think they're as funny anymore.
Alright, and the last question. Out of all of SpongeBob, everything you've seen, all the movies, all the shows, the episodes and everything, out of whatever season you may choose, what is your favorite episode or scene?
Oh, my favorite scene or episode, that's a very hard one, There are so many episodes and references, but if I had to choose one episode, it would probably be the band episode where they perform the halftime show, the Bubble Bowl, I believe what it's called, because there are so many references in there. Can I name a few?
Yeah, go for
like
it.
where Patrick asks, is mayonnaise an instrument? Where I think he also says, whoever's the owner of the white sedan, you left your lights on. And then where Squilliam comes in, and then like Squidward, he just blows him away with how everyone came together in the end. I just love that episode. It's funny, and it has a very heartwarming moment in the end.
All right, well, those were great answers, Sarah. Thank you for being here with us.
Of course.
It was awesome, and thank you for sharing your SpongeBob knowledge with us.
Thank you. Of course. I always enjoy talking about SpongeBob. I was actually talking about it right now in third period,
Well, thank you for being here, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Once after speaking with Sarah, we thought about interviewing our audio-video teacher, Mr. Sanchez.
Hi, my name is Frank Sanchez. I teach audio video here at Eagle Pass High School, and we run the Eagle Public Radio website. Go ahead and tell me what you got.
All right, so the first question, as a show overall, what do you think made it stand out the most?
I think just like with any great comedy show or kids show or even a show for adults, I think the humor was very broad. It could make children laugh, 8 years old, 5 years old. It would make teenagers laugh. And I don't know about, maybe people in their late 20s or early 30s, but I think that those people could see it and mildly at least be entertained. I know when I was growing up, I got to see it in a couple of different stages in my life and my lifespan and development, and I've always been entertained by it. I know that the colors are very interesting. The use of yellows and bright colors are good, just like the way The Simpsons used yellow. The humor is good, and it can be out there, but I think it takes everyone on the ride carefully enough that we can all go to that mental weird space that is the SpongeBob universe and return safely, and it's a fun ride.
When did you start watching SpongeBob? At like what age?
God, I don't remember too well. It might have come up when I was about to exit high school. I think I remember seeing it in Nickelodeon. When I was growing up, teenagers didn't see cartoons because they were too cool. That's the mentality I thought was going around, and so. But I mean, deep down inside, I thought it was awesome. I would see the colors, the comedy was hilarious. I remember, I don't know if it was when I was in high school or if when I was in college, that I would see my niece seeing the show, and I would stick around. And there was this funny episode where SpongeBob is trying to exit some weird location that he's at, and the running gag is that he can't leave. And there's this one scene, it's my absolute favorite scene, where he is trying to catch the bus to get out, and he's at the vending machine, and they synchronize him touching the snack bar, and as he's touching the candy, the bus is already there, and it looks like he's pressing on the pedal for the gas, and it's like you hear the engine vroom, vroom. It's like he's stopping on the gas. It's hilarious. He tries to get it, and the bus leaves, and that thing has stuck with me for a while. I was like, this is hilarious. I love this show.
Does SpongeBob remind you of any other shows, maybe from when you were also watching stuff at our age?
No, it was very different, and at the same time, subtle similarities, and I never would have put the two together, but I just found out, because the creator of SpongeBob passed not too long ago after we thought about making this idea, unfortunately, and making this the idea for the podcast. But when someone of such influence, like the creator of SpongeBob or anything else, passes, people do write articles and they do shows and podcasts about the person, and I tune into all that stuff. And I didn't realize that Rocko's Modern Life, a cartoon that was really good, was really out there, was very abstract, was very surreal, that I really enjoyed seeing. For that one, that was in the early 90s. It reminds me of that cartoon, and a little bit, subtly. I wish I could say, I totally knew it. But in that article, like I said, it turned out that he was actually a creator for Rocko's Modern Life. And there are some subtle similarities that I, now knowing after the fact, that I'm able to say, wow, yeah, that's his work.
Well, this is the last question. For future references, is there any specific show or maybe a few shows that you would like to hear about in this podcast?
There are some great cartoons out there. I am a big fan. I love creativity. I love the artwork behind it. I love the storytelling aspect and the writing aspects of them. I know the regular show is great. I love We Bare Bears. I love seeing that show with my kids. Bob's Burgers is fantastic. This is an old show. You wouldn't have seen this, but it's kind of out there. But it was a big part of the media and TV when I was growing up, and it's called Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, my dad talks about it a lot.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you guys are going to be dissecting shows and stuff like that, it'd be fun to see what you guys think of that. Having you guys actually see it and talk about it now, so many years later, what you guys think about that kind of humor or that animation. Does it keep your attention? That one's good. Oh, Ren and Stimpy is great. When I was a kid, I used to like Doug Funny. That was a good cartoon too.
That was Mr. Sanchez, our audio video teacher, sharing his thoughts about SpongeBob with us. It's truly amazing how this simple kids show could truly impact a huge group of society in such a great and powerful way. In the pre-production of this podcast, we were coming up with ideas for this memory lane episode, and SpongeBob was first on our mind because of how much nostalgia it brings to people of all ages. The next day when we came to school, we found out that Steven Hillenburg, the original creator of SpongeBob, had passed away at a young age of 57 years. We'd like to give him a huge thank you for everything he has given and done for us as children, and may he rest in peace. We'd also like to give a huge thank you to Mr. Sanchez and Sarah Perales for allowing us to record and interview them for this podcast, Emiliano Martinez for editing, and all our staff and teachers at Eagle Pass High School. Thank you for everyone tuning in, and be on the lookout for more Memory Lane podcasts. This has been an Eagle Public Radio production, online, around the globe, high school powered radio. I'm your host, Michael Lozano, signing out.